this video, we'll be making the Venus dress inspired by Realisation par, so let's get into the video. Shorten the skirt to 17 inches, trace the front, bottom, and just before the dart. Rotate the dart closed, trace the rest and blend. Add ½ inch seam allowance all around except at center front. Draw a curve from waist to center back under the diamond dart. Cut off 3 inches from the top and cut up the 2 slash lines. Spread the slash lines as shown and use the front skirt to draw the length and bottom at ½ inch seam allowance. Slash the top back bodice panel in 3 sections, draw a horizontal line perpendicular across, cut and spread 1.5 inches. Slash up the middle of the waist dart and down the middle of the shoulder, close the waist dart. Mark a line from the bust point, mark 1 inch below the bust point as center front. Draw a half circle with a 3 inch radius from the bust point. Mark up 1 inch and 3/4 from the bust point line towards the underarm. Mark 3/8 of an inch from the side of the circle and blend into the circle. Draw the cup curve using the video as a reference. Mark 3 inches down the side and blend into the bottom of the circle. Connect the underarm to the top of the cup. Trace the cup on a folded piece of paper, marking the dart. Cut out the 2 cups. One is the lining and one is the gathered piece. Add ½ inch seam allowance all around. Mark 4 slash lines as shown and a line across parallel to the bottom. Tape the pieces along a line 1.5 inches apart and blend. Mark gathering guidelines along the top, bottom, and underarms. Trace the bottom bodice piece and add ½ inch seam allowance all around except at center front. Pin the front bodice to the front skirt piece right sides together. Gather the front, upper, back piece to the same width as the lining. Sew double gathering stitches along the top and bottom of the upper back piece. Gather the upper back piece to the same width as the lining. Pin the gathered back piece to the lining right sides together, sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance along the top only. Pin down the diamond dart on the back dress pieces. Sew down the diamond dart using the bobbin thread as a guide. Stay stitch the open edge of the gathered upper back piece. Pin the upper back piece to the back dress right sides together. Take the cup lining and pin down the dart. Sew down the dart using the bobbin thread as a guide. Take the front cup and gather to the width of the lining cup. Gather along the top, bottom, and underarm with double stitch lines. Take the front cup and gather to the width of the lining cup. Pin the cups to the front bodice and sew on at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Pin the front dress right sides together to the back and sew on at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Cut 2 rectangles that are 21 inches by 10 inches, cut in a similar shape as shown. The curve is the bottom and the straight edge is the armhole. I actually draped this, so that's why there's no pattern. Fold in half right sides together and sew the short edge at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Serge or zigzag the edges and iron in 1/2 inch. Do this to the top and bottom of the sleeve. Sew down the hems, leaving about 1/4 inch of space for the elastic to slide through. Pull the elastic through, sewing down the first end and then pulling it out through the other side and sewing that down too. Use as much elastic as you need. Use a longer piece and then cut it shorter if you need to. Sew on the sleeve to the dress as shown. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. See you in the next video.